Brian, I've seen you've been interviewing these young guys that are doing great. Have you been able to pinpoint like what makes a 19-year-old be able to do great and maybe a 40-year-old not do so great, or one 19 versus another 19, or like what is it about these guys you've interviewed what sets them apart?
I'll give a little tease here. We're putting together a book that we're going to release next year summer, How to Start a Lawn Care Business for Teens. It's already copyrighted, it's already trademarked. Nobody take the idea, okay? Relax. But I have about 8 to 10 takeaways. I'm going to build a framework for that book about the distilled takeaways from these kids that I've interviewed, and many more. Like we've done 6 this year. We did 6 interviews last year. But I've talked to hundreds of teenagers, over the years at our event, Equip Expo, and their parents. And there is some really, really interesting takeaways. I mean, number one, I have to borrow a line from Jeff Joyner. He's typically our keynote speaker that comes to LAL. But one of his lines is, a lot of people think like they're just ambitious, right? Like I think a lot of people would say, yeah, I'm ambitious. I mean, I think everybody would in some way, shape, or form regard themselves as ambitious. And if you ask somebody what does ambitious mean, they say, well, I desire for more. I would like to acquire more. I want to build more. I want to do more. And Jeff would go, yeah, that's true. But he goes, I would like to also say, like, I think that's not entirely complete, because ambitious alone isn't the determining factor of somebody's success or achievement. It's the acting on that ambition, right? It's the doing. Like ambition is not a noun, it's a verb. So what these all young teenagers have done is they've acted on that ambition. And also, in tandem, they have a lot less or disregard easier the fear. Because I know a lot of ambitious 40-year-olds, but they're not taking action. And also their fear, which is a very practical, real thing. I'm not going to disregard that. You have a house, a mortgage, 2 kids, a boat, a camper. You can't just flush your $80,000 a year sales job at, some uniform company or IBM. I get it. But so what these younger kids have, though, is they have a greater desire to act on that ambition, and they also have a lot less fear that would hold them back. So it's like a 2-for-1, right? And that's why they're able to acquire and accomplish so much so quick. Call it naivety, call it ambition, call it faith, call it whatever you want. But I think those are some of the 2 or 3 things that I do want to highlight in this upcoming book and series. Those are 2 or 3 of those takeaways that I've noticed with these kids. They usually have a great environment. And it doesn't always mean encouraging environment, but they have a great environment to realize they have an opportunity, right? Like they're very self-aware. And a lot of them, of course, they do have a lot of work ethic and accountability to make it happen. But I think specifically, like they're very ambitious and they're willing to do something about it. And they have a lot less fear, a lot less overhead. So they can accomplish more and tear it out of the frame. It's very, very motivating to watch.
Yeah.
You go interview some 17-year-old kid who's got, I went up to Albany, New York, Tom Maggs, probably one of the highlights of this summer's tour, and 19-year-old kid doing about $1 million. A lot of his trucks are financed, but at the same point, a lot of it isn't. And he's doing $1 million and he's got 8 full-time guys. And whether that's your ambition to go that level or not, you still got to admire the fact, like the kid put it together with no outside funding, no daddy's money. That's one of the things I'm trying to dispel on this tour and highlighting all these young kids is like, you can be 17, 18, 19 and chisel out of 50, 80, 100 grand a year income. And if you don't want to go to college, like you can have a real conversation about not going to college. And also nobody here is going to put you down or make you feel like a loser. And also we'll encourage you and tell you how proud of you we are. Hey, just as much as we want to highlight the 19-year-old fast success, I always tell these kids, every time I'm with them in person, I say, hey, just make sure you're here a decade from now, right? Like don't get into drugs or alcohol or materialism or get divorced or cheat on your girlfriend or your wife.